takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
the guy that throws his body around.
Mic Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Live, only here on Mic Drop Sports. Make sure you are liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that good shit as we are diving in here on a Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. We truly, truly appreciate your support here at the channel. And again, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're going to talk a lot of football, but we're going to dive into why in the world is Antonio Brown continuing to derail himself here and once was a really promising career as he is now wanted for attempted murder charges out of Miami-Dade. The Miami-Dade Police Department now issuing an arrest warrant yesterday in the later parts of the day for Antonio Brown in this attempted murder charge. And things are just not looking good for Antonio Brown. And I don't feel like it's being really talked about enough throughout the sports realm. I mean, at least not what I've heard. I think this is a pretty significant story. And everybody wants to bring up the CTE stuff. People being privileged, all this stuff, everything. You want to bring up all this stuff, and then something like this happens, and it's almost like being swept under the rug a little bit. It's kind of crazy to me, but we'll dive into it. I also want to talk about today why Mason Rudolph is not even listed on the top 10 quarterbacks that are backing up, being backup quarterbacks this season here in 2025. Why he is not even on that list. According to CBS Sports, a major network putting that list out, and we will dive into that and talk about that also. What is up, Tom Ford? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, another Wombat, Robert Road, good to see you. Robert puts the comment, says, I am leaving this comment as I have to head out, so I will not be able to listen live. I have feared that AB would take his own life. He almost took someone else's. Hopefully he gets help. Yeah, man, I hope this guy gets some help too. I don't wish anything ill-willed on Antonio Brown at all. I hope he definitely gets his stuff together. Another Wombat says he's crazy. That's why. True. I got my camera on the wrong side, so guys, I'm sorry. I'll try to use my left hand so you guys don't have to see all my stuff. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights in the house. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday. Yes, what is up, man? Good to see you, Daniel. Tom, ain't no party like a Diddy party Ford. Bow in this attempt. What's up, Jason? And everybody else in the chat. What's up? We did that. That's from Tom. Danny George in the house. Hi, Steelers family. Good to see you guys, man. Definitely good to see you. And we are ready for a damn good show here on the channel tonight. And if you're not watching it now, you can watch it later. But yesterday I didn't do a show because I used football practice. Then come to find out there was some sort of outage to where I don't even know if I would have been able to even stream live. So it is what it is. But let's dive into this Antonio Brown gossip, man. Let's spill the tea here on Antonio Brown and just dive into really what happened. He's accused of taking a weapon. This is the real crazy part. He is accused of taking the weapon from a security officer. Taking the weapon from that security officer. I don't know if he pulled it off the security officer, if the security officer gave it to him. I'm not sure exactly. That wasn't listed in the article. But he supposedly used that weapon to charge after a victim, supposedly a guy that supposedly has known Antonio since the 2022 since the year of 2022 and going after him with this weapon because supposedly this guy took or attempted to try to take jewelry from Antonio Brown. This all coming after a celebrity boxing match that was held by superstar streamer Aiden Ross, a guy that's been well known throughout the younger crowd. Some of you old heads might not know who that is, but it's a guy that has been well known for his streaming. I don't know. He kind of annoys me when I've listened to him, so I'm not a big Aiden Ross fan. But however, it comes after his event. There is videotape of this incident. There's videotape where Antonio Brown is seen running after this guy with a weapon. And also, there's the victim pointed Antonio out on the surveillance footage. So this is not looking good for Antonio Brown. And the articles are saying that the Miami-Dade Police Department and the courts have issued this arrest warrant, and maybe AB isn't really even paying attention to it. Supposedly, he's put out a video of him riding a bike, just being carefree. He did put out some sort of social media post where he said something, if it didn't kill him, it'll just make him stronger. All this kind of crap where he seems to be just playing it off like it's nothing. But these are very serious charges. And the court's requesting him to stay on house arrest. So he must be on house arrest for some other incidents too. But they are requesting a $10,000 bond on this charge, which is really extremely low in this case. For considering the significance of the charge, you would assume that the bond would be significantly higher due to his celebrity, first of all, and his ability to be able to travel throughout the world due to his financial situation. But also, again, the significance of the charge, which is really, really crazy to me that it's so low for that. But that is what it is. And again, Antonio Brown, as of right now, I'm not sure if he's turned himself in. I don't believe he has to face that charge. But again, they want him to remain on house arrest until the trial for this charge. But sometimes these things don't even make it to a court to have a trial per se. So a lot happening in the world of Antonio Brown. And how has this all gone wrong, my friends? Why in the world is this guy self-destructing? And kind of crazy that we all saw this coming, this train wreck coming. Even Ryan Clark, a former teammate, was very vocal about his attitude, Antonio Brown's attitude, the way he approached things. And he even made the comment, which rings so very true right now and makes Ryan Clark look like a freaking genius when he said, and he said this publicly, you can look it up, he said, the minute you give that man money, large amounts of money, he is going to lose control. And that's not a direct quote. He said it, he worded it a little bit different, but that's exactly what he said, that once you give that man money, shit's going to happen, man. And he was exactly right. And Antonio Brown, a star wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a generational talent drafted inside of the 6th round, a guy that was just absolutely amazing at what he did with Big Ben Roethlisberger. He was just an absolute phenom, an absolute freak of nature inside of the white lines, man. Antonio Brown was second to none when he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers decide they need to trade him. They see the issues coming. The problems are starting. They can't sweep them under the rug anymore. They trade Antonio Brown off to the Las Vegas Raiders. He goes out there, and I believe they might even have still been in Oakland. This might have just been before their move. I'm not 1,000% sure. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I can't remember off the top of my head. But regardless, he went to the Raiders and never played a regular season snap ever. Had feet issues where he got them burned in a cryo chamber. He had helmet issues where he could not find a helmet after his was banned from the NFL due to safety regulations. So just so many things going on with him. Then he moves to the New England Patriots, plays a game or two with Tom Brady, and then that's over. That show's over. Then goes to Tampa, wins a Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and then goes off the freaking rails. And that is really where the bulk of his legal issues really started. Domestic issues with his baby's mothers, his children's mothers, and just many, many other things that have happened. Throwing furniture off atop of hotel balconies. Just so many crazy things for a guy that was once one of the most promising NFL wide receivers, one of the best wide receivers of all of football, and perhaps of our generation. Perhaps we never see a wide receiver that's able to do what Antonio Brown was able to do inside of those white lines, guys. And that's the real truth of this and the real sad part of all of this. And how disgusting is it that a guy has no self awareness, that he just is destroying himself? Maybe he's surrounded by the wrong people. And it's just trickling down and continuing to fall apart for Antonio Brown. And I have to do this too. We ride Mike Tomlin. When Mike Tomlin does stupid shit, we ride his ass, man, and rightfully so. But when he does something really well, we got to applaud it too. And Mike Tomlin handled AB, because that shit could have been bad in Pittsburgh, but he was able to keep a lot of that inside of the building. He was able to keep Antonio Brown in somewhat of a checked state, to where he was able to continue to play football, able to still be a contributor and not allow his life to fall apart. So we have to applaud Mike Tomlin there. But we also have to say this. Maybe Mike Tomlin coddling him just prolonged the inevitable. I don't know, but we'll give Mike Tomlin credit for definitely keeping a lot of that inside. Hey, there's Sean. What's up, man? Sean's going to come back on, man. That was going to be a surprise tonight, but he's got a lot of work to do. So we'll get Sean back this weekend at some point here on, I believe it's Father's Day weekend. So happy Father's Day early to all of you guys, and maybe we'll do a special holiday edition here at Mike Drop Sports and Steel City Live. A wall, the Bang Bang Steeler gang. I believe in CTE. I think that hit from Vontez Burfict ruined him and gave him PTSD. What do you think? I believe in CTE. I believe it's a real thing, and I believe it can have major ramifications. But I also believe in this, that you need to take accountability for yourself and your actions, and you can't blame your actions on something all the time. And Antonio Brown, I believe in my eyes, is surrounded by all the wrong people. I believe he's surrounded by a bunch of people that want to act like they're gangsters, like they're thugs, and I believe that's part of the issue. I believe Antonio Brown definitely maybe has some issues inside of his head, but really, honestly, let's be real truthful. Even before he really started taking some of those massive hits inside of the NFL, and this isn't to dog him, this is just telling the truth. And I get ridiculed a lot for it, but I'm going to tell you the truth. He sounded like a dumbass, like he was kind of stupid, like a little slow. He did. And that's not to dog the man, but he just did. And I just think that Antonio Brown maybe just doesn't know how to take accountability for his actions, doesn't understand how to act right. And, that happens, man. Everybody isn't perfect, Just because guy's in the NFL and plays in the NFL doesn't mean he's the sharpest Crayola in the box, man. It doesn't mean that you're going to color with that crayon and it's going to be the brightest color on that page. No, it doesn't mean that. And nobody's ever accused Antonio Brown of being the sharpest tool in the shed. So it is what it is. He's a phenomenal athlete. I wish him nothing but the best. And I hope this is what I hope for Antonio Brown. I hope that there's people in his life or around him that really, truly love this man. Not for money, not for fame, not for AB, the football player, not for AB, the Super Bowl champion, not for any of those reasons, just for being AB. And I hope they wrap their arms around him and get this dude back in check and under control and back to living a normal life. And hopefully the legal situation plays out. And there were no lives lost. This guy, though, the supposed victim, did go to an emergency department to seek attention for possible injuries. But I don't believe there were any real significant injuries that came of this, thankfully. Thank the good Lord. So hopefully this can all get worked out and Antonio Brown can get back on track. But We can't excuse his stupidity. We can't excuse his ego. We can't excuse his I got money and I'm above the law attitude. We can't excuse that. And he isn't the only one to have it, but he's the one in trouble right now. So, yeah, CTE's real. It's a big problem. I hope there's some way to figure it out and fix it long term. But I can't blame that all on the AB situation. But good question, AWOL. Good to see you, man. Danny George, hey there, Sean. Good to see you back. Absolutely. Uh, Sean says AB is self-destructing along with former UFC champion BJ Penn. Sad. Yeah, I saw that about BJ Penn also. Yeah, man. And guys, Antonio Brown is just added to a long laundry list of former famous NFL celebrities, baseball, whatever, professional athletes, famous actors, singers. Just a long list of how money can really contaminate you. You know, we all wish for money. We all wish to be wealthy, but there's very few people that can truly, truly handle wealth. There are very few people that can really, truly understand how to handle it, understand how to continue to stay humble, understand how to continue to stay true to yourself. And there's not very many people that can understand that. And it does take a special person to understand how to remain true to yourself and remain a steady, thoughtful human being that cares about others and doesn't allow that money to consume them. Greed, wealth, these are evils, guys. These are real, true evils. And yes, money makes things better and easier, no doubt about it. But you have to be able to learn to control it. You have to be able to understand how to not allow it to eat you and consume you. Those are big, big things. What's up, Steve Winters in the house? Steve says, hello, Jason. I hope all is well with you and your family. We are. Thank you, Steve. I hope the same for you. My friend, very, very, very sad with what's going on with Antonio Brown. I pray for him and his family and that he gets help. Me too, man. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Yes, happy Father's Day early from Sean, too, guys. Happy Father's Day from Steve. Good that you guys are all in there. What's up, TD? Let's keep going. AWOL says, I think AB stands for ass backwards. That's a good one, AWOL. I like that one, man. I like that one. All right, guys, make sure you are commenting, giving all your comments, questions, and concerns. Make sure you're following us over on TikTok, X, Facebook, all those places, and continue to support us here at the channel. Super chats are always wide open here. Get your comment instantly read. Memberships are 99 cents a month, and I want to congratulate all of you people out there in the mafia. We are over 120 paid memberships here on the channel, which is absolutely amazing, man, and hopefully we'll continue to grow that as we continue to grow our product here and continue to make this show better and better for you guys and continue to have just damn good shows. Let's keep going here. Tom Ford says, I think Mike Tomlin should have suspended or at least benched AB for taping in the locker room when Tomlin was trying to give a speech to the rest of the team about beating the Ravens next. Yeah, I agree. But at that time, he was the best receiver in the game, and it's hard to bench somebody that means so much to your football team. Maybe he should have sent a message by putting him out for a quarter or two. I don't know, but at that point of the season, when so much is on the line, it's hard to fault Mike Tomlin for not putting the best receiver in the game on the sideline. That's the thing you're running into, Tom. Morally, ethically, it's right. He should have been suspended for it because it was a dumbass move. And I totally agree with that. But the circumstance and the way the fan base, the world expects the Steelers to perform, the way they would want them to win these games and be on top of the mountain, the pressure's too immense to take a situation like that and put the best receiver at the time on the bench. It just wasn't an option for him. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. But yes, it should have probably happened. Oh shit. I thought there was like 10 more comments there. I thought I had and I was like trying to get to them. But anyway, man, make sure you guys are doing that. Make sure you're liking, sharing, all that good stuff here. But we have talked about this Antonio Brown incident. We'll continue maybe to talk about it throughout the show. But definitely it's very troublesome. Kodak says, hey, Jay, 20 minutes late, but you know better late than never. 100, all we can do as fans is wish him nothing but the best. Even Tom Brady couldn't help him out. Absolutely, Kodak. You're 1000% right, man. No doubt. Let's move on to another topic. We're about 20 minutes into the show here, and I want to move into another topic that's troublesome to me. I'm going to put a graphic up there on the screen for you guys to see. And this is the top 10 quarterback situations inside of the NFL currently, according to CBS Sports. I think this is a little bit inaccurate because I think Mason Rudolph is one of the best backups in the league. He should be ranked within that top five, if you ask me. I think he could perform better than Gardner Minshew at this state of Gardner Minshew's career. I think he's better than Daniel Jones. I think he's better than Tanner McKee. I think he's far better than Pickett and Joe Flacco both. I think he is tremendously better than Malik Willis, way better than Marcus Mariota, better than Mac Jones, better than Sam Howell. Jimmy Garoppolo and Kirk Cousins, yes, they're probably at the top of those lists due to their resume inside of the NFL. But besides those two, it's a complete slap in the face to Mason Rudolph. And I'm not sure what CBS is even thinking because Mason Rudolph has to be in the top five of that list. Let me know what you guys think inside of the comments and questions. Let me know what you guys think about this list as it's up there on the screen for you guys to be able to look at right now. You can see the list. Again, number one, Jimmy Garoppolo, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew, Tanner McKee, Kenny Pickett / Joe Flacco, Malik Willis, Marcus Mariota, Mac Jones, and Sam Howell. Sam Howell backing up a rookie, really, in J.J. McCarthy, a guy that was injured his rookie year that the Vikings are putting all their eggs into that basket, and Sam Howell is the backup for J.J. McCarthy. Mac Jones out in San Francisco backing up Brock Purdy. Marcus Mariota, where is he going? Maybe Washington? I can't see on that graphic where he's backing up right now. Malik Willis backing up Jordan Love in Green Bay. Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco. I'm not sure, who's going to start in Cleveland, and I don't think they know. I don't even think they got a fucking clue in Cleveland. I think that's a tremendous train wreck. But, it is what it is. And, yeah, we'll see how that all goes. But, yeah, not a good situation in Cleveland. Tanner McKee backing up Jalen Hurts. I think that one's crazy to me to be ranked that high up. Gardner Minshew in Kansas City backing up Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he could be up there on the list. I think Gardner can come in and do some good things. Daniel Jones is just fucking terrible. I don't know why he's even on the list. He's ranked number 3 as the Colts backup, but he is going to be the starter, and Anthony Richardson's probably going to sit the bench. That's how I look at it. But we'll see, man. And then Kirk Cousins down in Atlanta will be sitting behind a second-year man in Michael Penix Jr. And then you have Jimmy Garoppolo that will be in Los Angeles backing up the ageless wonder and Matthew Stafford, a guy that has a tremendous arm still at his age. Kodak says better than Malik Willis. I believe so too, man. He also says he is definitely top 3 because guess what? He's a starter if Aaron Rodgers wasn't a free agent. Absolutely, man. I don't get this list. CBS should be ridiculed for this list because I think it's absolutely stupid that you're ranking some of these people up there. But that's the list. I'm going to take it down, guys, and we're going to continue to talk about it. I can bring it back up if need be, but we'll continue to talk about it. I don't know why Tanner McKee is even up here, dude. Hasn't even really played at all. No, he wasn't even a backup last year in Philly. It was freaking Kenny Kitten Mittens. AWOL, how is Joe Flacco a backup? I think he's a starter really in Cleveland because they're just going to go with the veteran that started a ton of games. But Joe Flacco, honestly, man, I don't think he's better than Mason Rudolph right now. at this stage of his career. This is what we're talking about, guys. Not what people have done in the past. We're talking about what they are currently, right now, as an NFL quarterback. So that list is definitely screwed up, if you ask me. Steve Winters, why is everybody hating on Rudolph? The guy never, ever got a fair chance, and I don't think he's that bad at all. I don't either. And the shit talk for Mason Rudolph is crazy to me. It's mind boggling to me that people can sit here and really, with a straight face, say that Tanner McKee, Daniel Jones, Kenny Pickett is better than Mason Rudolph. The Steelers didn't put Kenny Pickett back in once Mason got to go. Once they saw what Mason could do, they didn't put Kenny Kitten Mittens back in there, guys. That should tell you every fucking thing you need to know. Kenny Pickett is not an NFL quarterback. Man, that I want him to be. I lobbied for him to be. I tried to speak it into existence. And deep down in my heart, I knew he wasn't. But damn, I wanted him to be so bad. Then when he showed me he didn't have any intestinal fortitude, that he didn't have any guts, I wanted his ass up out of here too. All right, guys, you saw the top 10 backup quarterback list. According to CBS Sports, and Mason Rudolph does not find his name on there anywhere. With the likes of Malik Willis, Marcus Mariota, get a life. Marcus Mariota bailed on his team in Atlanta, just left, just rolled. Guys, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Damn, is that crazy? All right, guys, I'm gonna get a little bit of sip of my drink here, but I want you to put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. Let me know what your feelings are about Mason Rudolph not being on that top 10 backup quarterback list for 2025, and what your true feelings are about that. Also, any other questions you have, throw them in there, and we'll get to them. But please make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribing if you're not already here to the show. And again, we appreciate your support here at the channel. Also, follow us on Facebook, TikTok. TikTok's a big one, guys. That could really explode our platform by generating a lot of views. So if you're not on TikTok, consider signing up and going over to TikTok. I've been really posting daily on there. Maybe occasionally there will be some different things on there that you won't see here on YouTube. So make sure you go over there and do that. And I know everybody and their freaking brother has a Facebook. So why aren't you following Mike Drop Sports? I have no clue why. But go look up Mike Drop Sports and get on there for us. I appreciate it. Tom, ain't no party like a Diddy Party 4. Although with that mustache, Mason Rudolph looks like a 70s cornstarch. I know what you mean, porn star. That's true. I hear you, man. That's crazy. Another Wombat in the house. 1, Mason is only a starter if there is no one else. Tells you everything you need to know about his starting potential. 2, that CBS list is irrelevant. Those people don't know anything. I'm not saying Mason isn't starting if somebody better isn't there, but honestly, Mason Rudolph came in and played really, really well. And I just don't see why that is overlooked, and definitely true. If Aaron Rodgers is in the building, Mason's not starting. I mean, he's not. But Mason Rudolph, when he played for the Steelers, was exceptional. And he played for a trash franchise last year in the Tennessee Titans that had a horrible, horrible, horrible roster, one of the league's worst, and still had moments. So, maybe he didn't wow them, but that roster didn't wow you either. So, yeah. And I agree. I don't think that list really matters, but it's a major, major outlet, a major network putting that out that is supposed to have a slew of so-called NFL network or experts all over the place. I love their game day morning show. I love Coach Cower. I love Jim Brown. I love all those guys, man. I love Jim Nantz when he's on CBS. I love a lot of those people that they have. I find CBS to be my favorite network to watch football on. But that list is absolutely dog shit, and I don't know what they were thinking when they did it. Tom Ford, I'm hearing that Will Howard is looking phenomenal. Yeah, he's looked really good, and I mean, you guys got to put it into context too. It's football in shorts and a helmet, so we're not getting a ton out of it. But so far, so good, which is really positive. And Tom's right. There are tons of reports of people really getting hype with his performance throughout minicamp. Minicamp's now over, guys. We're going into this 5-6 week period of just absolute football hell. There won't be a ton of news unless there's some moves made by the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of the roster. But I really don't look for that to happen. Maybe a TJ Watt extension is done. And we can talk about that too, because a lot of fans are diving in deep still on that. I also want to talk about what the Cincinnati Bengals are doing with their rookie that they drafted while Derek Harmon was still on the board, the defensive player Stevens that they drafted. I believe that's what his name is, but I need to look again. But what they're doing to him is crazy, man, and it's just absolutely nuts. Yeah, where is Shamar Stewart? Yeah, that or Stevens. I said Stevens. It's Shamar Stewart. Sorry, guys, I said the wrong name. That's why I had to look it up. I couldn't. Sometimes I brain fart. But Shamar Stewart, we're going to talk about that in a second here. Once I catch up back on the comments. Steve Winters, whoever made that list, I'd like to know what they're smoking because I would love to have some. No freaking doubt. AWOL, we all booed Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson. Nobody ever filled Big Ben's spot. So I don't think we should be talking about Mason Rudolph. We got Aaron Rodgers now. I got trust in him. Absolutely. And AWOL, we're not talking about him to overtake Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the top 10 backup quarterback list, the top 10 best situations for the backup quarterback. That is something that is so important with the amount of injuries that are in this league. And everybody wants to talk about Aaron Rodgers' age. Injury could be a real thing. So this is something that really has to be looked at. And I think the Steelers probably have one of the league's best situations in Mason Rudolph. And people weren't booing Mason Rudolph during that final stretch of games that he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because why? He was a top 5 NFL quarterback statistically through those games, and he was doing nothing but winning and throwing touchdowns and kicking ass. So nobody in Pittsburgh was booing him then. They were making up songs about him, how he saved Christmas, how he was doing so many good things. That's the thing. But yeah, I get what you're saying, but yeah, this is definitely a big situation. Steve Winters, Rudolph is good enough to be a starter. How the F do you not make a backup quarterback list? No doubt, man. I agree, Steven. Devin Burkett, Big Willie Howard's development definitely puts the Steelers' future in a much better place, especially if Rodgers can ball out and put the premier franchise in all of sports back deep into the postseason. I agree, man. His development is key to the Pittsburgh Steelers' future because if Will Howard develops, it frees a lot of things up for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward into 2026 and allows them to continue to build this roster in a big, big way. So, yeah. All right, guys, I do want to talk about what the Cincinnati Bengals are out there doing. Still fucking shit up, still being stupid, still being the Bengals. But this one, I don't want to go too hard. I don't want to mess up my boy Daniel Warman. He's a Cincinnati Bengals fan and a Mike Drop Sports follower. So I don't want to go too hard on him. But, man, I just got to say it's true. They are messing this up big time. Shamir Stewart, first of all, I don't know how you take Shamir Stewart. And I was on a draft show live at the time over on Steelers Almighty, and I cannot believe that they took him at that time. With Derek Harmon on the board, what are you doing, dude? Shamir Stewart is not what Derek Harmon was. I don't know what they were thinking. But anyway, amongst other players of all over the place that they could have taken, I don't understand what their move was there with Shamir Stewart. The guy can't tackle anybody. But anyway, here it is. The Bengals still doing Bengals type shit, still fucking shit up. Excuse my French, but it's true. And I'll answer your question here in a second, AWOL. I see it, but man, how do you do this to this kid? They've already put a structure in for first round selections. So there's a structure that the NFL has put in place contractually. So these contracts are easy. Do you remember the days of the negotiations where some of these guys were getting crazy money? The Ryan Leafs, the Jamarcus Russells, these catastrophic failures in round one that were getting tremendous money. And it was detrimental to the franchise, and something had to be done to all franchises. And something had to be done in the league, put in a pay structure in terms of contracts for first round selections, and went down the list and adjusted the money, adjusted the cap in terms of how much they can make and things of that nature. Really, I think all you can really negotiate is your guaranteed money now. I think that's about it, but I think everything's pretty much set in terms of years, financial structure, in terms of the amount of money you can give, and all those things. But the Cincinnati Bengals are trying to put some unreal things inside of this kid's contract. In terms of like if he gets injured, they could void the entire contract. Just crazy, stupid things, man. And the Bengals have already jacked this roster up, if you ask me, considering their defense is not very good and their top defensive selection in round one of the 2025 draft walked out of mandatory minicamp because they are trying to screw this kid over. And he is going to have to play with knowing if anything would happen to him at all, any injury, they could wipe out his contract. That's crazy, man. If that's the exact way they want to put that in there, that's crazy. And I believe they're trying to do some other things too. But just in general, this is almost uh, put in place by the NFL to where you can't screw it up. But the Bengals are managing to screw this up. Leave it to the Bengals or the Browns, a team like that. Leave it to them to screw these things up. They make no sense. It just doesn't. And you don't want to put your young player, your first round selection, into any type of compromising situation or put him into a bad spot to where they have to play with something over their shoulder. You don't want them to do that. You want to get their contract hemmed up, which is pretty basic, cut and dry, especially where this guy was picked like at 17, 18, something like that. I'm not exactly sure what number of selection he was, but I know he was after 15 and before 20. So, this is already set in place. Why are you tampering with it? Just sign them so they can keep playing football and get into football shape for the season, get their mentals right, allow them to adjust to the NFL, set them up for success. Don't try to screw them over. Don't try to screw them over. And that's what the Bengals are doing here. And this is what is crazy about the Bengals to me, my friends. You have Joe Burrow, a generational freaking talent at the quarterback position. Ain't many better, not many better than Joe Burrow. And you're going to sit there and waste his prime young years when he is teamed up with prime time wide receivers in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You're going to waste these years? How can you sit there and look your team in the face knowing you're doing some of this dumb shit? It's just crazy to me. But the Bengals continue to do Bengals shit. I don't know, man. Will or AWOL. I'm not going to classify any one player as looking the best. I don't think that that's fair for OTAs. I don't, AWOL. I don't, because again, I look at the context of which they're practicing and things, and it's really hard for me to give you that answer because we can't even see the guys in the trenches do anything because they're not able to. Uh, you know, I just it'd be really hard. I guess if you want to give it to anybody, give it to Will Howard. The young rookie going out there and impressing folks. But still, it's something that you really can't rank people who look best because of the situation, in my opinion. To be fair to all the players, that's just what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be fair to all the NFL players that are on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster, and uh, I just don't think any of them look bad or great. I just don't think that you can take that away from mini camps. Sean, I love the comment. Steve Winters, hell, he had enough balls to take on Miles Garrett. Daniel Warman, I agree. It's so frustrating, Jason. I'm a lifetime Bengals fan. It makes me sick the way the Browns do the fans of Cincinnati. You're spot on. Me too. And that's who suffers, Daniel. Regardless, I'm a diehard Steelers fan. And when it's game day, you're damn right, man. I hate the Bengals on game day if we're playing the Bengals. No shit. I hate anybody the Steelers are playing on game day. But you know what? We're all fans of the same sport, and that's who I feel bad for. Are the people that have poured their life into this franchise, or to that franchise, the Cincinnati Bengals, that are sitting back and just scratching their head and asking themselves, why in the world does the Brown family, does the ownership, the leadership of this franchise do the things that they do? It does not make any sense. And the fans are the ones that suffer. The fans are the ones that fill that stadium up each and every Sunday. The fans are the ones watching it on TV each and every week. They're the ones supporting this ball club, and they're the ones that pay the biggest price. That's the truth. The players, they get their money, they'll make money, they'll find a way out of Cincinnati because they know it's a bad situation. They want their way out of there unless they're going to get paid buku bucks. Anybody getting paid buku bucks, I don't care what team you're on, you're just going to stay and you're going to make your money. And I don't fault anybody for that. But these players that are just making average NFL money, they're looking for a way out. They don't want to be there, man. And it's not because they don't have a good quarterback or good offense. They got a good coach. It's the ownership and the dumbass shit they do. And that's what makes players not want to play there. And Daniel's exactly right, man. I'd be sick of it if I was a fan, especially the lifelong fans. AWOL, why does ESPN think we gonna be third in the division? Do they not know if Omar Khan gets Amari Cooper to go with DK Metcalf? It's over with for anybody that plays us. I don't think they'll be third in the division. I don't know why ESPN ranks them third. They do. They usually rank them third or fourth every single year. So I really take what they say with a grain of salt because I don't think they look at this division team by team in depthly. I think they, have very few employees at ESPN that actually really look at teams and really gets a good picture. I think they just go off the masses and what they say and piggyback off of that. To be honest, I really do. I don't think they really have any genuine, real, true opinions there anymore. I think they fired all the guys that mattered. Hell, they had Merrill Hodge there, a guy that's an absolute legend and a great football mind, one of the smartest football minds that I've ever spoken to personally. But they let him go. He's a guy that knows X's and O's like no other. This guy's just X's and O's, and he knows his shit, and is a valuable asset to have on your team. But they let him go, which was crazy at the time. They should have kept somebody on there that was knowledgeable about football and about how football is really played. So I don't know why ESPN does that. I really take what they say with a grain of salt. Devin Burkett, very happy to see the bungholes are continuing to waste Joey Burrow's career away while he's there. Otherwise, they might be someone to think about. Absolutely. That's the thing. The Cincinnati Bengals right now have an excellent opportunity to be ripping off Lombardi trophies because Joe Burrow, my friends, is that good. He's that good. He is a generational talent at the quarterback position. This guy is the realest of deals, man. He is awesome. And the Bengals are wasting those years. And it's sad as a football purist, a football fan. I love football in general. And it's very sad as a fan of football to look at it and say to myself, wow, what could have been with this guy? This guy should have 4 or 5 Lombardi trophies by the time he's done. He's that fucking good. The Steelers and the Browns is my Super Bowl. I don't even care about the Super Bowl as long as we don't lose to the Browns. Every time we do, I call off of work. Hey, you're in depth. What's up, Tyler? Tom Ford, I know this isn't what we're talking about, and a lot of people are going to really hate me for this, but I kind of think we should trade TJ Watt. He's starting to get older, and I think we could get, you're talking about more draft capital, at least a first round draft pick for him. Here's the thing, Tom, and I don't disagree that he's getting older, but I think there's a couple more years left in the tank there of high value, high level football. And I think the Steelers are well aware of that also. And I think the Steelers could give him a contract and structure it in a way that pays him a tremendous amount of money, makes him the highest paid player in terms of pass rushers, and still be able to get a return on investment for him in about 2 or 3 years via trade. Again, I've said this over and over here on the channel. They need to get the good up out of him, and I think they can over the next couple seasons. But it's going to cost you. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely realize, TJ does have a couple years, but I could see what Tom's exactly saying. Strike while the iron's hot. But I'll disagree and say that I think they could get a couple more good years out of him and still do all the things that he's wishing for to happen and make this a happy building for 2025 and allow this Aaron Rodgers experiment to have every weapon tool available to it and allow it to be the best it can be, to take a real shot at this, because this is about it for Aaron Rodgers. Probably is it. It's probably his last trip around the sun. And he's going to do that in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. And you want to have the best defensive player in the world on that football team in TJ Watt. You don't want to allow him to walk or trade him off when you're trying to ramp up and load up for a Super Bowl. That's the reason they went out and got DK Metcalf. That's the reason they went around and filled in pieces along that defense. That's why they invested heavily in those trenches. That's why hopefully schematically they'll use Minka Fitzpatrick in a better way. That's why they went out last year and got guys like PQ, Patrick Queen. You have the Herbigs, you have the Jack Sawyers this year, you have some young talent around that defense. So strike while the iron's hot here. You have veterans still like Cam Hayward, you still have his running mate Alex Smith. You just got to stay status quo and pay what you got to pay. Because this Aaron Rodgers thing is 1 year, and you need to figure it out, and you got to have the best team you possibly can out there to help support him. Big pun. Why is TJ Watt getting a pass from fans for not showing a mandatory camp while under contract? Well, pun, you watch this show quite often. You know Jason didn't give it a pass. So, hey, I don't know why fans are. I don't. I didn't. But I don't know why fans are. I didn't give it a pass. I think you need to be in a building. And I think you should have the contract, figured out while you're there. You're under contract. Just go there, figure it out. And I think they'll talk to him and do all those things. I don't know why players do that. I don't think it's an excuse. $21.5 million is a tremendous amount of money, and I understand his side too. I understand the Steelers side of things. But when you're under contract, I think you need to be in the building and work on it from there. Even if you're not out on the football field running around being crazy, but be in that building, providing that veteran leadership, learning schematics, learning with the football team, building that camaraderie with your new teammates, your new additions like Derek Harmons, the Y.A. Blacks, the Jack Sawyers of the world, the Darius Slays, the Eccles, all these guys that are new to this building. You want to be in there working with them, and especially in a year where, again, the Steelers are loading up in what is a hopeful thing for them with Aaron Rodgers to go try to catch a Lombardi trophy. Steve Winter says the bottom line is, Jason, the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals have poor ownership, and that's always been their problem. Absolutely. Guys, you can tell the teams that have bad ownership. You can tell. They're the teams that are constantly at the bottom of the list, no matter how many first-round draft picks they get, no matter how many high-value players they get, because it doesn't matter. They could have a fucking super team in place there, and it doesn't matter. when the leaders suck, the ownership sucks, they're just not going to be good. Yes, they'll have those fluky seasons where they do good or make it somewhere far, but they're never going to reach the mountaintop. They're just not. And that's something that you can see. And you see it happen year after year. Did you see Keenan Allen said no about coming to the Steelers? Probably because he doesn't want to be on the East Coast. He wants to probably play on the West Coast. So maybe he did say no. I don't think it matters. I really don't think it says anything about the Steelers. I don't think it says anything about Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it says anything about Mason Rudolph. I don't think it says anything about the coaching staff, the ownership, nothing. I don't think it has any bearing or reflection on the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise roster, city as a whole, everything. I just think it's simply that Keenan Allen probably prefers to stay out on the West Coast, where he's basically kind of played his whole career, except for playing in Chicago, in the Windy City, and he probably doesn't want to go back to another cold weather venue. After playing in Chicago, he'd probably rather be out on the West Coast, so that's probably why. Rob Lightfoot, you don't trade your face of your franchise. It sends a bad image to the league. Nobody would ever want to come play in Pittsburgh if you just kicked rocks with your franchise players. I can see that point, Rob Lightfoot. I definitely can see that point. Um, but also sometimes you're not able to work out, the deals and things of that nature. So as long as the Steelers, I believe, that show that effort and really try to work things out and really try to make things work. If it fell apart, I don't think players would blame them because they understand the business side of it. But I see your point, and I see exactly what you're saying. But yeah, I think it just depends on how the situation all unfolds on whether or not it looks really, really bad. I agree, Tom. Text to talk does suck. That's why I don't use it. AWOL, TJ Watt ain't going anywhere. He will get his money soon. Why would we want to play against him? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. No doubt. All right, guys, I'll give you one more chance to put some comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. What a great show here. A lot of great topics, and this has been damn, a damn good show. As always, we always have a damn good show for you guys here on Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports. Your home for Steelers content each and every single day. We are grinding. Make sure you are following us on Facebook, TikTok, and X. And we truly appreciate every like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever. Every little thing you guys do is highly, highly valued here at Mike Drop Sports. Also, we will be having at some point throughout this weekend a special show on the weekend with our return of Sean, our friend Sean, that's been a mainstay here on the channel, is just going to come and we're going to bullshit and laugh. We may never even talk a bit of football. Who knows? But we're going to have fun bullshitting and just hanging out and enjoying you guys. So make sure you mark your calendars and join us here Saturday or Sunday. I'll put a post out. We'll see. But make sure you're joining us this Father's Day weekend for another great show with us as we will just dive in and have a good time. Appreciate you, Sean. Thank you. But yeah, Mike Drops, you have... smoking chill voice. I do smoke cigarettes, but the other I do not. Used to, but not no more, man. Haven't for a very long time. I'd probably die. I'd probably pass out, but yeah, appreciate you though. I take that as a compliment. Devin Burkett, the media outside of Pittsburgh, has always hated the six-time Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. And the reason is because we are the greatest franchise in all of sports and we ended John Madden's dynasty. We'll give you an air horn in the crowd. We'll give you that, Devin. Thank you, man. We appreciate that. That was a good comment. Good show. Good show, and I love the new format. Thanks, Big Tom Ford. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Big pun. If New England can run off Brady, Packers run off Rodgers, Favre, 49ers run off Montana, we can run off Watt. True. I see your point too, pun. That's not a bad one. Rob Lightfoot, I just remembered how I felt about New York when they were shopping Eli Manning at the end of his career. Daniel Warman, thanks, Jason. Bless you, my friend. Hey, Sean. Hey, good to see you, Daniel, man. And definitely make sure you guys join us. So I'm going to, again, leave you guys with the best intro. Oh, we didn't get your trivia question. All right, go ahead. We'll wait for AWOL's trivia question. He's been doing it now every night. All right, AWOL, we'll give you a minute to throw that in there and see if I can answer it. And then we'll get up out of here. And if anybody got an answer, we'll let it get an answer tomorrow. But definitely, we're going to bust up out of here. I'm going to get rid of all these things here. There we go. So once AWOL puts his comment in there, we'll get rid of everything. All right, AWOL. Let's do it, brother. Sorry, guys. We're waiting on AWOL's trivia question. I don't want to miss it. All right, here's your trivia question for today. Who was your MVP for Super Bowl 10? Super Bowl 10 MVP. Oh, man. Super Bowl 10 MVP. Lynn Swan. Lynn Swan. Am I right? Let's see. Super Bowl 10 MVP. I say Lynn Swan, right? Yeah, 4 catches, 161 yards, and 1 tutty. There you go. Nice. I don't know how I knew that was a lucky guess. Devin got it too. Thank you for the trivia questions, AWOL. We really enjoy them. They're really good, man. But that was no Joe. Joe Namath was a Super Bowl like 2 or something. Daniel. Rob Lightfoot says, "Happy birthday to the Army, to the POTUS." Devin says, "I knew it." Yes. Jair or Ramsey. Guys, you can't get Jair Alexander, I don't think. Why? Because here, let's be real about it, Captain. And this is the last thing I'm answering. I'm not answering no more comments after this, guys, so sorry. Jair Alexander has played in, 14 games over the last 2 years? He is injury prone as hell, and I don't think he can pass a physical. There's a reason that he is floating around out on the free agency market. Nobody's picking him up after being released from the Green Bay Packers. A guy, when healthy, is a top 5 slam dunk cornerback in this league. A guy that you don't mind paying any amount of money to because he's that good. But he can't stay healthy. And again, I don't think he can pass a physical at this point in the summer. So I think the answer is no for Jair Alexander. I would love to have a healthy Jair Alexander, but we won't have that. The guy's just not played enough football and hasn't stayed healthy enough here in the last couple of years. So that is what it is. And Ramsey, they're not going to make a trade for a Ramsey, man. They're not going to do that. It's just not going to happen. Sorry. I don't want to burst your bubble, Captain. Good question, though. But neither are going to happen. And I can say that pretty comfortably. All right, guys, let's leave you with the best intro, outro in the business here on Mike Drop Sports. And we will be back, like I said, this weekend, as I'll be joined by Sean, and we will just have a bullshit session of epic proportions, my friends. So until then, peace.
Power takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
guy that throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.